Hey guys, if you've checked out my channel before, you probably know me for my random singing videos from music school, my bad quality SoundCloud tracks, and my very embarrassing Harry Potter fan videos, which I do sincerely apologise for. I was young and stupid. Still love Harry Potter though. So basically I wanted to start doing a video diary of my progress with my weight loss and my struggles and triumphs against having PCOS. So as this is the first video, I don't want to delve in too deep right away, so I'm just going to explain a little bit about myself, where I've been and where I'm at right now. At the age of 14 I was diagnosed with depression, and at the age of 17 I was diagnosed with anxiety. As well as this, my weight was something I always struggled with, and I feel added to my anxiety and my depression. I was prescribed an antidepressant called citalopram, which made me worse, in a sense. The longer I was on them, the worse it got. So I decided that I wanted to come off citalopram, and I was instead put on another antidepressant that I can't remember the name of, but it basically did the same thing as citalopram. It didn't help me, it made me feel worse. And so after that second attempt, I decided to leave antidepressants alone, and that maybe they weren't for me. Not that they wouldn't be for anyone else, I'm not knocking them all together, you know, they work differently for different people. So if your doctor does suggest trying antidepressants, I wouldn't knock it until you try it, because the worst that can happen is that it doesn't suit you or it doesn't agree with you, and you can just stop taking it and look into other options. With my weight side of things, I developed a little bit of a comfort eating habit, and I was a bit addicted to Coke. Not the sniffing kind, the Coca-Cola kind. I was drinking about 2 litres of full-fat Coca-Cola every day, which if you've seen the videos on Facebook and on YouTube, you'll know how much sugar's in Coca-Cola and how bad that is. So that wasn't helping myself. So after a few years, I decided to get really fed up with the way I was treating myself. Like, I wasn't looking after myself at all, and I decided that I wanted to do something about it. So I swapped out the full fat Coke for things like Pepsi Max, Diet Pepsi, Diet Coke, anything sugar-free. And I managed to stop comfort eating, and that was really well. And I just started a performing arts course at college, which if you've done before, you'll know how intense it is and how active it is, so I wasn't lazy. But still, the weight was not going anywhere, and at this point I was at a loss and I didn't know what to do, and my depression was just plummeting. So I spoke to my mum about it, and we went to see our doctor, and they took 10 blood tests. And after 10 blood tests, they assumed that I had an underactive thyroid. And I say that unsurely because I always get it mixed up. But either way, she meant that I had the one that makes you gain weight. So after being told that, and after being promised more help medically, I did some research online, and I started following some tips and tricks for people that do have underactive thyroids, and was left very surprised to find out that nothing changed. I didn't even lose a pound. I was still the same, it was just getting worse. And then I spiraled back into my depression for quite a few years, until July last year, where I decided enough was enough. I was tired of not being able to look at myself in the mirror. I was tired of hating myself. I was tired of feeling trapped in this body. So I decided to go back to the doctor, and this time, after only 1 blood test, thank God, it came back that I actually have polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is a hormone disorder in women that means you're producing too much testosterone. And it can affect a number of things like your weight, fertility, acne, hair growth, hair loss, periods, lots and lots of different things. And when I did get diagnosed, I did feel like my whole world came crashing down around me, because diagnoses are scary no matter what they are. I mean, I remember being diagnosed with eczema and being like, what? So it's quite daunting, but I was also incredibly relieved, because the more I researched it, the more things in my life made sense. Like, it wasn't just the weight loss stuff, it was also, I've always had problems with my periods. I've always had problems with acne. I do have a bit of hair growth on my jawline. I do lose more hair than I probably should. So I was so massively relieved. I cried for 3 days. But after the 3 days of crying, I decided that's when it was time to knuckle down. So as well as changing my diet, changing my portion sizes, making some well-needed changes to what I was eating and my activity levels, I also carried on seeing my doctor, who then passed me on to a weight management nurse who prescribed me a tablet called Orlistat, which is not a weight loss drug, so don't go out and buy Orlistat thinking it's going to make you lose weight, because that's not what it's designed to do. What it's designed to do is to help women who may be in my position, who struggle with burning fat regularly, to burn that fat, and it also helps you take notice of how much fat you're actually eating a day. For example, if you're on Orlistat, you're allowed 3 meals a day, and each of those 3 meals can't exceed 15 grams of fat. Otherwise, you will be left with a very nasty surprise, and I'm not going into that surprise, so if you really want to know, Google Orlistat effects. So after starting that last year, I've been doing really well. I've been more active, I've been taking my dogs out on walks, I've been going on walks on my own whenever I can. I bought some weights, I do 30 sit-ups a day, I've stopped drinking full fat drinks altogether. I'm eating smaller portion sizes, I've swapped out my regular butter for Flora Light and so on and so forth, and by doing this I have lost a grand total of 4 stone and 11 pounds. Hooray! I've still got a while to go, but I'm definitely feeling a lot better about myself. And another big reason behind these videos is not just for myself to look back on and to remind myself why I'm doing this and what it's for, but it's to also let you guys know that you're not alone, and I'll be throwing in some diet tips and some exercise tips and what I've been doing, and see if that works for you, because I know that there's no worse a feeling than feeling like you're utterly alone, and I'm here to tell you that you're not. Whether you have PCOS like me, or whether you're just struggling to lose a bit of weight, or whether you just want to hear from someone that has depression and anxiety and maybe you have that too, I just want to be able to help in a way that I wasn't helped when I was younger. So if you liked what you see, guys, drop me a comment, subscribe, maybe follow me on Instagram, which is fatty2fitty93, and I will link that below, and I'll see you next time.